What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to another market update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so it's been about 5 or 6 days since my last market update, and you can see that Bitcoin is back down to 108,300 and Ethereum is back under 3,900. If you look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, this is interesting. It's actually climbed a little bit since yesterday. You can see that we're back up to 33, which is still fearful though. However, yesterday it was like 30 and then the day before it was 28. But to be honest with you guys, I've personally been saying all along that I'm not worried at all, especially when you look at technical analysis. The main thing that I've been showing you guys is Ethereum specifically because obviously a lot of people are interested in altcoins. And by definition, Ethereum is the leading altcoin. Now, why I find Ethereum so interesting is because as of right now, even after this pullback, we are still clearly holding support. This is Ethereum on the weekly time frame. And if you guys have been watching any of my content, you know that I've had this little support range drawn for almost a month and a half at this point. And then the other level that I've been telling you guys to watch is this right here, the 21 weekly moving average. And as you guys can see, we have had two textbook retests off of this level. Two candles in a row came down and touched this level perfectly, and both times the candle bounced right back up. That shows that this is very strong support. And you guys have to understand that as long as we hold this range, this would be a textbook support and resistance flip. Previous resistance would now become support. And that is textbook technical analysis. And a lot of people don't ever actually zoom out and just look at the bigger picture. I say this in almost every video, but so many people out there have forgotten that Ethereum was back at $1,383 only back in April. It is currently October, and Ethereum after a pullback is sitting at 3,865. If you told those people back in April that Ethereum would be sitting over 3,800, they would not believe you. So that's why I always stress having perspective in this market. I personally think Ethereum looks very good on the weekly time frame. Now, Bitcoin is a little bit more interesting right now. The daily time frame is actually retesting the 200-day moving average. You can see that we actually lost the 200-day initially, and then we got right back above it. However, right now we actually just dropped beneath the 200-day again. However, this candle has gotten bought back up. Right now, we are actually sandwiched between two levels. You can see that we're sandwiched between the 200-day and the point of control on the VRVP. This red horizontal line, we already got rejected off of it once. So for Bitcoin on the daily time frame, I'd honestly just be watching these two levels right now. Whichever level breaks is probably the direction that we're going to be heading in the short term. And then if we look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, it is a bit different than Ethereum. I was just telling you guys how Ethereum has not lost the 21 weekly moving average. And Ethereum looks like it could have a textbook bounce. If you look at Bitcoin, it has lost the 21 weekly. So I've been saying that I wouldn't be shocked to see if Bitcoin does actually come down and retest the 50 weekly. And if we do that, that still is not a bad thing. Just like Ethereum, I always recommend you guys zoom out and get the bigger picture. So many people are asking me right now whether or not I think we're heading into a bear market, but we are still in a clear macro uptrend. I know the current pullback doesn't feel amazing, but if you look at this in the grand scheme of things, this is a tiny drop. In order for me to say that we're heading into a bear market, I would need to see a full-on structural change. And as of right now, I am just not seeing that. To me, this still looks like a clear macro uptrend. And recently, I've also been showing you guys the gold chart. And the reason I've been showing you guys gold is because gold is almost a $30 trillion market cap. The reason that's important is because we could absolutely see some profit rotation. A lot of average investors don't understand that nothing runs forever. And they're just hearing that gold is breaking new all-time high after new all-time high after new all-time high. However, as we will know in crypto, nothing runs forever. And as you guys know, gold has these long periods of time where it just consolidates. I'll show you guys the weekly time frame as an example. So obviously you can see looking at the weekly that it's just been a parabolic moonshot. But as you scroll back, you know that gold consolidates for long periods of time. This right here was gold consolidating for almost 3 years. And then after 3 years, it finally had this huge move. It's going to have another period where it consolidates. That's just how asset classes work. But we could absolutely see some of these profits get rotated. And it could absolutely be sooner rather than later. Simply from a technical analysis standpoint, we are seeing tweezer tops on the weekly time frame for gold. Not a lot of people are talking about this, but this could absolutely be the top for gold. Now, is that guaranteed? No. And I would also like to see how this weekly candle actually closes. If it gets bought right back up, then ignore that. But if this candle actually closes red and it closes with tweezer tops, that's not a great look. Oftentimes that does signal a top on an asset. So this is definitely something to keep your eyes on. And again, keep in mind, gold is almost a $30 trillion market cap. You guys have to understand that right now, Bitcoin is a $2.1 trillion market cap. It does not take a lot of profit rotation to pump the crypto market right back up. And from a technical analysis standpoint, crypto still looks like it's just having a textbook pullback. That's why I think it's very important to not panic right now. Don't get shaken out of your conviction plays. The way that the crypto market works is we often see Bitcoin run, then we see high caps run, then we start to see money trickle down into the mid caps and the low caps. We've had the huge Bitcoin run, and I'm not saying that it can't keep going, but we've had a huge Bitcoin run, and then we've had Ethereum and BNB. At least we've had Ethereum and BNB start to do pretty well. We just haven't seen a lot of the mid caps or low caps do anything. But historically speaking, their time is coming. Not to mention market conditions should continue to get better and better. We could see rate cuts yet again. And there's also a lot of speculation that quantitative tightening is coming to an end. That's what a lot of people also don't understand. During the last altcoin season, it was a time of quantitative easing. We still have not seen that. We're still in quantitative tightening right now. So make sure you understand the bigger picture. But honestly, that's about it for the update today. As always, if you guys are interested in market updates and just getting into projects super early, then I always recommend you come over here and you take a look at my Discord. We're in the market 7 days a week, and we've been printing in here this entire cycle. If you look at the all-time gainer list, we've hit some huge multipliers. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage, and I'd love to have you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about the market. If you enjoyed this content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.